My beloved soul, welcome to this moment of connection. I invite you to sit in stillness, to open your heart, and to let your soul speak freely. You are not alone. You are being led, guided, and watched over by a divine presence. Right now, we begin a journey of understanding, of hope, and of the deep connection that God has prepared for you and your spouse. God's love is immense. His understanding of you is beyond measure. He knows the language of your soul, the language that is not spoken in words, but felt in the depths of your being. It is the language of your heart's desires, your quiet prayers, your deepest pains, and your greatest hopes. And in His divine plan, there is someone who is destined to understand that language. Now, let me remind you, my beloved soul, that you are already loved. You have already been created with a purpose, and that purpose is woven into every thread of your existence. You are not here by accident. You are not waiting in vain. You have been called for something far greater than you can yet imagine, and part of that is the relationship God has set aside for you. As you walk this path, remember this: your spouse will come to understand the language of your soul, even when you cannot find the words to speak. It will not be because they know you perfectly, but because God has opened their heart to hear you in ways that transcend human understanding. It will be a union that is marked not just by words, but by deep, soul-level recognition. Your soul already knows them, and theirs knows you. The timing may not be what you expect, and the journey may not be easy. But I promise you, this God will ensure that when the time is right, your spouse will hear the language of your soul clearly. They will understand your hopes, your fears, and your dreams without you needing to explain them in detail. This is the beauty of divine timing. This is the gift of a love that is born not of mere chance, but of God's perfect design. If you're feeling lost in the waiting, take heart. Your waiting is not in vain. You are being prepared, molded, and shaped by God for the love He has already set aside for you. And when your spouse finally comes into your life, they will know you in ways no one else ever could. So, my beloved soul, hold fast to the promise that God is working behind the scenes. You may not see it yet, but your future spouse is being prepared to hear the language of your soul. And one day, they will understand you fully, just as God understands you. You are not just waiting for love, you are waiting for the soul-deep connection that God has ordained for you. And this waiting is not in vain. Though the world may be impatient, though your heart may long for the moment to arrive, I ask you to hold fast to the truth that God is preparing something far beyond your own understanding. The language of the soul is not a language that is always understood by the world. You will not always be able to express it in words that others can grasp. You will not always be able to share it openly, and yet it will be felt deeply. The true language of the soul is the language of the heart, the one that speaks through emotions, actions, and intentions. It is felt in a glance, in a smile, in the quiet moments of connection that words cannot capture. And your spouse, my beloved soul, will understand this language without you needing to translate it. When they enter your life, they will not just hear your words, they will hear the cries of your heart. It's the unsung prayers, the unspoken hopes that you have kept hidden within you. God is preparing both of you to meet at a place where words will fall short, but the connection between your souls will speak volumes. It will be a conversation that flows without ever needing to be spoken aloud. There may be moments when you feel misunderstood, when the people around you cannot quite grasp the depths of your soul. They may love you, they may care for you, but there will be times when your inner world feels like an enigma. That is because the language of your soul is not meant to be fully understood by everyone. It is meant to be understood by the one who is destined to walk beside you. And in God's perfect timing, that person will come. Trust this, my beloved soul. The silence in your life, the moments of longing, the seasons where it feels like your soul is crying out but no one hears, it is not a void. It is not an indication of abandonment. It is a season of preparation. God is preparing you to speak the language of love on a level that goes far beyond mere words. And He is preparing your spouse to hear that language with a heart that is open, compassionate, and ready to understand you on a deeper level. The Bible reminds us in Romans 8:28 that we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. This includes the work that is happening in both your life and the life of your spouse. God is preparing you both for a union that will be nothing short of miraculous, a union that will be marked by understanding, compassion, and a love that speaks the language of the soul. This love will transcend time and space, for it will be woven together by God's divine will. Your spouse will not only understand your dreams, but they will understand the quiet moments when you don't feel like speaking. They will know the struggles you faced, not because you told them everything, but because God has placed a divine empathy in their heart. They will know when you are burdened, even when you try to hide it. They will know when you are weary, even when you don't say a word. This is the profound gift that God is preparing, a connection that is not based on perfect communication, but on the soul's ability to recognize one another. There will be moments when you feel the weight of the waiting, when the silence feels too long, when you wonder if your spouse will ever arrive. In those moments, my beloved soul, I ask you to remember that the silence is not a reflection of God's abandonment. No, it is the deep, sacred work of preparation. God is shaping you into the person you need to be to recognize and embrace your spouse when they arrive. He's working in their life as well, preparing them to meet you, to love you, to understand the language of your soul. Even before you fully understand it yourself, you may find yourself reflecting on past relationships or experiences, wondering if the love you seek is even possible. But trust this: God's plan for your love story is not based on past mistakes or regrets. It is based on His perfect timing, His perfect wisdom, and His perfect understanding of who you are. He knows the deepest parts of your soul, and He knows the perfect person who will speak your language, even when you don't have the words to express it. And so, my beloved soul, let us consider the beauty of the divine plan. When you meet your spouse, there will be no need for forced words, no need for explanations. There will be an immediate understanding between you. You will be able to communicate with them on a level that goes beyond the limitations of human speech. Your soul will recognize theirs, and the connection will be undeniable. There will be no need to justify your feelings because they will feel it too. There will be no need to over-explain your thoughts because they will already understand. This is the gift of divine love. In the quiet moments before your spouse enters your life, trust that God is at work. He is preparing you, He is preparing them, and He is preparing your future together. Though it may seem like nothing is happening, remember that everything is happening according to God's divine timing. He is preparing the soil of your soul, and He is planting seeds of love that will bloom in their perfect season. So, I ask you to hold on to this promise, my beloved soul. Your spouse will understand the language of your soul. They will hear the cries of your heart. They will understand the unspoken prayers, and they will recognize your deepest desires without you needing to articulate them. And when that time comes, when your paths finally cross, you will know that God has brought you together in the most beautiful, divine way. My beloved soul, we have journeyed through the understanding of the silent language of the soul and the divine preparation that is unfolding in your life. Now, let us explore the beautiful and profound moment when God's perfect timing brings you and your spouse together. The moment when your eyes meet, when your hearts finally align, will be nothing short of miraculous. It will be as though time stands still, as if every moment in your life has led to this one point. In that moment, there will be an undeniable knowing. Your soul will recognize theirs, and their soul will recognize yours. You will not need to search for the right words. Your hearts will already understand. This is the moment that God has been preparing both of you for. But let us pause for a moment, my beloved soul, and consider the beauty of this divine connection. This meeting, this divine moment, will not be based on superficial attraction or worldly expectations. It will not be about finding someone who matches your checklist or who fits into the molds that society has set for love and marriage. No, this moment will be about the deep, spiritual recognition of the person God has prepared for you. Your spouse will understand the language of your soul, because, in a way, their soul has been speaking to yours long before you met. They have been shaped, molded, and prepared by God in such a way that they are uniquely equipped to love you, to hear you, and to understand you. And you, in turn, have been prepared by God to receive them, to love them in return, and to walk together. Through the seasons of life, this divine meeting will not be an accident. It will not be a random coincidence. God has been at work, weaving your stories together, aligning the paths of your life with such precision that when the time comes, you will look back and see how every single moment led to this one. Every trial, every triumph, every heartache, and every joy, all of it was part of God's grand plan to bring you and your spouse together. When you meet them, you'll feel a deep sense of familiarity. It may feel as though you've known them forever, as if your souls have danced in harmony long before your physical bodies ever met. This recognition is not a coincidence. It is a divine confirmation that God has already united your souls. Even if it is your first time meeting them in the physical realm, your soul has known them for eternity. And when you finally come together, the understanding that will unfold between you both will be a reflection of the understanding that God has. For each of you, your spouse will not only understand your words, but they will understand your heart. They will see the parts of you that you keep hidden, and they will love you for those parts. They will not judge you for your scars, your past, or your imperfections. Instead, they will embrace them as the beautiful, unique parts of who you are. In the early days of your relationship, there may be moments when you are still learning to speak this language of the soul, and you may find yourself communicating in ways that are new to you, unsure of how to express what you feel. But trust that your spouse will understand, not because they have mastered this language, but because God has opened their heart to hear you in ways that go beyond human understanding. As you continue to grow together, this connection will deepen. The language of your soul will become clearer, more fluent, more harmonious. There will be fewer misunderstandings, fewer moments of confusion, because the bond between you will be so strong that even the smallest gesture, the quietest look, will carry immense meaning. You will no longer need to explain everything because your hearts will already know. This, my beloved soul, is the beauty of divine love, the connection that is birthed from the heart of God, not from human effort or desire. In this union, you will experience a love that is not dependent on external circumstances, will not be based on fleeting emotions or temporary attractions. No, this love will be eternal, rooted in the deep understanding of each other's souls. It will be a love that grows with time, that withstands trials, and that only deepens as you both continue to walk in God's light. And in this love, there will be an unspoken promise, a promise that no matter what life brings, you will always understand each other. You'll speak the language of the soul, even when words fail. When the world around you is chaotic, when the storms of life seem too much to bear, your souls will find peace in one another. You will be a sanctuary for each other, a place of refuge where both of you can be fully known and fully loved. In this divine union, there will be moments of joy that you never imagined possible, moments of peace that surpass understanding, and moments of grace that remind you of God's unwavering love. You will support each other in ways that only souls who have been divinely destined to meet can. Your spouse will be the person who not only walks beside you, but who lifts you up when you are weary, who understands your struggles without needing to be told, and who celebrates your victories as their own. This is the love that God has promised you. This is the connection that is waiting for you, the love that speaks without words, the understanding that transcends all barriers, and the bond that will sustain you both through every season of life. So, my beloved soul, as you wait for the moment when your paths finally align, know that God is preparing both you and your spouse for this divine meeting. You are not alone in this journey. God is at work, shaping both of your hearts, molding both of your souls, and guiding you both towards the moment when your eyes will meet and your hearts will recognize one another. When that time comes, it will be as if the universe has shifted to bring you together, as if every piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. You will know without a doubt that this love was ordained by God, and you will give thanks for the moment when your souls finally speak the language of love that has been waiting for you all along. The divine connection, the meeting of souls, the deep, soul-level recognition, this is where it all leads. It is where the journey of your life and the journey of your spouse's life converge. It is where you will walk together, hand in hand, in a love that speaks the language of the soul. This love is not just for the moment, it is for eternity. God's design for your relationship is one that will grow deeper and more profound with each passing year. It will be a love that is not fleeting or dependent on circumstances, but one that is anchored in the divine understanding that only God can bring. You and your spouse will walk together, side by side, through life's triumphs and trials, understanding each other in ways that only souls who are connected by God's will can. Your spouse will understand you not only in the quiet moments, but in the loud, chaotic, and sometimes difficult moments too. The language of your soul will speak louder than words in those moments. When life is overwhelming, when you feel lost or confused, your spouse will be there, listening to the unspoken words of your heart. They will know how to comfort you, how to love you, and how to stand beside you in a way that only God could have prepared them to do. But more than just being there for you, your spouse will be the one who calls you higher, who challenges you to grow, who encourages you to become the person God has always intended for you to be. They will not only be your companion, but also your partner in God's work. Together, you will walk out the purposes God has for both of you, fulfilling your individual callings and your shared mission as a couple. This love will not be without challenges. There will be times when you disagree, when life seems uncertain, or when you face difficulties that feel too great to bear. But in those moments, my beloved soul, remember that the language of your souls will always bring you back together. Your love will not be based on perfect harmony or flawless communication. It will be built on the understanding that you are both imperfect beings, but God is perfect. And in Him, your souls are united. There will be moments of joy that seem to last forever, those quiet, intimate moments when you look at your spouse and realize that this is exactly where you were meant to be. There will be moments when you both laugh together until tears fall, moments when you share dreams and prayers and fears in the safety of each other's arms. These moments will be the foundation of your marriage, the beautiful memories that will sustain you through the difficult times. And as you walk through life together, your love will deepen. It will mature in ways that only the passing of time can allow. As you grow older, your connection will not grow stale or distant. It will grow more intimate, more tender, and more beautiful. You will both learn new ways to speak the language of the soul, to listen, to understand, and to love. This love, my beloved soul, is not just for you and your spouse. It is a love that is meant to reflect God's love to the world. The way you love each other will be a testimony to the world of God's grace, His patience, and His unconditional love. Your marriage will be a light shining in the darkness, a beacon of hope for others who are seeking the kind of love that you and your spouse share. As you love each other with a love that speaks the language of the soul, you will also love others with that same love, showing them the power of God's love in your life. And when the inevitable challenges of life come, when you face trials, heartbreak, or loss, you will have the strength to stand firm because you are not standing alone. Your spouse will be beside you, walking with you through the darkest of days, understanding the unspoken words of your heart, helping you carry the burdens that seem too heavy to bear. And through it all, God will be with you, guiding you, sustaining you, and reminding you that this love, this divine connection, is exactly what He intended for you all along. As you grow old together, hand in hand, you will look back on your journey with deep gratitude. You will see how every step, every moment, every waiting period led you to this place of divine union. You will see the beauty of how God has woven your stories together. You will understand more fully the language of your soul, the language that spoke through every trial, every prayer, every moment of waiting, every moment of joy. In the end, my beloved soul, this is the promise that God has for you. He has promised you a love that transcends time, a love that will grow deeper. With each passing year, a love that speaks the language of the soul. Your spouse is being prepared by God to understand you in ways that no one else ever could. When the time is right, you will meet and your souls will recognize each other. You will walk together, side by side, fulfilling the purposes that God has designed for your lives, both as individuals and as a couple. May you trust in the process. May you trust that God's timing is perfect and that He is working everything out for your good. And may you always remember that the language of the soul is one that only God can teach, one that speaks louder than words, deeper than feelings, and more enduring than time itself.